Sacred Supplements is a family-owned and operated business established in 2015. We specialize in creating all-natural supplements that deliver supernatural benefits. Surpass the limits of modern medicine using the magic-like properties of monoatomic elements found in our one-of-a-kind, supercharged Ormus elixirs, Logos, Messiah, and Magi. Avoid toxic pharmaceuticals using the time-tested and medically proven healing powers of colloidal copper and colloidal silver, broad-spectrum remedies created to perfection and made with love. Enjoy the amazing detoxifying and energizing effects of Sacred Soleil, an affordable, all-natural, refillable energy drink with over 80 ionic minerals, plus electrolytes and loads of pure solar energy. Visit sacredsupplements.com today to order or to learn how to create these sacred gifts for your mind, body, and spirit. Check. Check one. Mic check. Now turn that up just a little bit. Right there. That's good. Telekinesis is a divine intervention between spirit and matter. This physical reality is an illusion made entirely of light and sound. This light is manifested in the forms of earth, water, fire, and air. Earth, water, fire, air. Physical matter contains just enough intelligence to hold itself into form. So the slightest energetic influence on a molecular level will cause a kinetic reaction. Matter is using the power of my mind to form an illusion of solidity. So from matter's perspective, I am God. Everything that exists in this dimension, including myself, is made of light. Therefore, my God is light. Nothing is solid. Nothing is still, nothing is permanent, nothing is real. Everything I see, hear, smell, taste, and feel is energy being interpreted by my mind via my five senses.
Five senses.
I am not my mind, I am not my body. All is one, and one is all. I am all that was and ever will be. I am an infinite, powerful being experiencing a limited and finite existence. Everything I've learned from duality and separation is but a half-truth. I am perfect, holy, and divine. I am perfect. I'm electric. I'm electric.
Holy.
I'm magnetic.
And divine.
I am light, sound, and energy. I'm not learning telekinesis. I'm remembering it. I use empathy, focus, and energy. Reality is an illusion, and I am both the creator and the spectator.
I live in a matrix
of light and sound.
Sound.
The dormant portions of my brain are awakening now, and I have extrasensory perception. I am you, and you are me. All is one. Separation is a fantasy.
The fantasy.
My chakras are alive, healthy, and vibrant, giving me the freedom to project my energy beyond the confines of my body.
I live in a matrix.
Two streams of energy are flowing up and down my spine, like serpents on a stick.
Serpents on a stick.
I can expand my consciousness beyond my body. I can now feel what I see as if it is a part of me. I can move things with my mind because my mind is creating all things. I am my own teacher and preacher. I am in the know because I am in the now. The same intelligence that governs my bodily functions can be used to manipulate matter.
Telekinesis.
My subconscious and unconscious mind are wise, powerful, but elusive. Just as my mind naturally knows how to use my organs, So too does my mind know how to perform telekinesis.
Telekinesis.
All I must do is focus on my intentions and trust my mind to do the rest.
Telekinesis.
Trust my mind. Telekinesis is effortless because nothing is real and no physical force is required. It's okay if my targets move unintentionally or in the wrong direction,
Telekinesis.
because the connection is my primary objective. I am far more powerful than I once believed. I have no fear, no doubts, no worries. I am discovering the real me.
Real me.
I am perfect, powerful, and perceptive. Real me. I am confident, kind, and creative. I can move things with my mind.
Telekinesis.
I am the creator of space and time. Real me. I am the grape and I am the vine. I am the earth, the air, the water, and the fire. I am discovering the real me. The real me. I have no doubts, no fears or reservations, for life is an illusion of my own creation. All sights and sounds are simply vibrations. No wrong, no right, no separation. I am discovering
Telekinesis.
the real me.
No separation.
I am you and you are me, and all things in between.
No separation.
I am the wind, the rain, the sun, and the trees. I am in the ocean, the lakes, the rivers, and the streams. The real me. I am the co-creator
I am the co-creator
of my reality.
of my reality.
I am discovering the real me. Okay, we are live. Hey, welcome to the live stream. This is Trebor7, and it is September 7th, and we're starting a little early today to accommodate for the time difference in our special guest we have joining us today. Real quick, I just want to introduce myself. I am the creator of telekinesisschool.com, where you can get free, simple, effective methods for learning telekinesis. And treborseven.com, where you can access my 7 private tutorials and some articles that I've written and other members have written, available for free in our forum. And I am the creator of sacredsupplements.com, where you can purchase or learn how to make sacred gifts for your mind, body, and spirit, such as Ormus, Soleil, colloidal silver, and colloidal copper. And today's guest is joining us live. I believe he said he's in Greece right now, but he is from Austria. And he has a YouTube channel, which I will be putting the link. Matter of fact, I will do that right now in the chat, where you can go check out his awesome videos. Now, unfortunately, a lot of it is in German. So it's kind of difficult for us English-speaking viewers to follow, but there's certainly plenty of good material on there to keep you interested. I've watched a few of his videos in what little bit of spare time I've come across so far, and I'm really looking forward to talking to Alex. He's going to talk about the Force. It's what they all talk about in Star Wars and stuff, except this guy's like the real deal. He's going to explain how to access this Force and use it. But first, let's go hit the chat real quick. We'll address those, and then I see Alex is backstage. Oh, cool. We'll bring Alex on. We have Gleese says, Trebor, thank you for your magical channel. Been a huge fan for years. Oh, I keep forgetting you can show these. I might as well show them. You completely changed my perception of the world and what's possible. Hello from St. Petersburg, Russia. All right. We definitely have an international show happening tonight. Also says, please go live more often if possible. Maybe this winter when things slow down. I love your lives so much. I've been watching all the old ones. Oh, good. Good. It's good to know people are watching these live streams. People hit me up for a long time to go live, and I put it off forever. I'm glad I'm doing it. Jake says, hello, everyone. Hello, Jake. And looks like the rest of those comments are me. So with no further ado, we are going to bring on our guest. We're going to make sure we got a good connection here. We've got Alex's audio and video. Alexander, I hope you're ready. We're bringing you on live. There he is. How are you doing?
Hello. Thanks for the invitation. Nice to meet you finally.
Oh, very nice to meet you as well, my friend. Where are you talking to us from?
At the moment in Crete, it's like 11 p.m. here already, and I get a flight in 9 hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I appreciate you staying up late for us. This is midday here in the Midwest. I'm talking to you with a belly full. I just got back from a family reunion just moments ago. I was nervous about being late. So glad I made it. This is gonna be fun. So, how do you pronounce your last name?
Many people have that kind of problem. Even in Austria, like my university teacher needed like 5 years till he finally could say Krakolinig.
Oh, no.
I was Krakolinig, so many different mixtures actually.
What's the correct pronunciation again? Say it again.
In German, you would say Krakolinig.
Krakolinig.
Krakolinig, yeah.
Krakolinig. Okay. I think I'm going to stick with Alex, if you don't mind.
It's coming from the Crake, from Krakolinig, because my father was a Crake, my brother was the Crake, and later it was also my dancer name when I was still breakdancing, B-Boy Crake. And then was the YouTube channel, The Crake, but this got hacked 3 years ago, so everything is lost, or a lot is lost, let's say like this.
So the videos I'm watching on YouTube now, those are not uploaded by you, or are those uploaded by someone else?
My old student from Switzerland, Thomas Murrow, it's the channel. But I'm just in the creation of creating a platform and making everything new, and let's see.
Well, bless your heart. Yeah, that's definitely content worth watching. And I put a link there in the chat if anyone's interested and wants to go look at it. We'll probably check out a few of his videos. But for starters, tell us a little bit, what is the Force, and how did you get into this?
How should I start? It's actually some kind of body intelligence to access this inner power, and everyone has this. There are so many different ways. Let's try to get the right words to really think in which direction I'm going, because you have Aiki from Aikido, you have Sistema, you have Tenagadalam, you have Empty Force, you have like so many different internal martial art concepts, and they have all kind of different name and different way of explanation. And one part is about emptiness in the body. One part is about sticking and feeling in like in Tai Chi, so you can redirect the energy and the movement in the body from the other person. And for me, I came actually from healing, because when I was about 23, I had a disc prolapse. I couldn't walk for more than 1.5 years without pain. And so from extreme sport, I went into extreme spirituality and tried every kind of healing methods. And then for me, I was always looking what is the most effective thing. And so I came later also to quantum healing. And so I started everything, and was more like, first, I never thought that I would become a teacher, do everything like in this way, because originally I was mechanic, sports scientist, and many other things what I've done. And then it just came, and then people start seeing me as a spiritual teacher, guru, whatever. I said, oh, I don't even want to do this. But it just like happened. And later, when I went more into numerology, I saw also like in the numbers, oh, this is actually my path is teaching. From Pythagoras, you can see what is your birthday and what is the number why you're here for. And also from the palm leaf bibliothèque, you can see so many, but it's like crazy that like this palm leaf bibliothèque is over 5,000, 10,000 years old and tells you everything about your character and about your life. And it's just crazy. And so, yeah, there are many different topics. It depends what you like to talk about. And so after my healing crisis, I started to research more and more and more. And I saw in the Asian concepts, it's very hard to get real knowledge because of the hierarchy. And it's like many Western tried to go to Asia and they all got fucked up and ripped off, because it's just like what happened, the same thing with Bruce Lee. Like, you were not allowed to teach Kung Fu outside from China, and that's why they attacked him. But you can see like so many wisdom in the old words, like saying like, be water, my friend. Why? Because water can destroy the hardest thing. And the same thing is in fighting. So you have to become more empty, you have to become flexible. And for me, first, I was fascinated by this kind of energy work, because first I was already moving people, but with energy for healing, not for any other purpose. Because for me, everything was about healing, not showing, oh, how powerful I am, because I see all this big ego nonsense in the martial art. And first, I was fascinated by like how strongly you can manipulate people. And actually, you're manipulating yourself all the time, somehow with your crazy mind. But this was like, oh, how is this possible? Or how is that possible? And I was always a skeptic, I have to say. I always have to try everything out, and then I can say, is it working or not? Otherwise, it's useless shit, to really talk clearly. And I saw a lot of shit, actually. That's why I was, even when I was in the Vipassana meditation in Thailand, I asked the teacher, this. I don't, tell me what is your outcome from your practice. I don't need to hear when you read out from the book. It's not, I can read by myself. So for me, it's like, oh, what is really the practicality about it? And that's why, because I'm a body type. So for me, I have to feel it, I have to try it out, and then I see, oh, is it working? Is it not working? And so later, the Force in You, this name came from a friend, because he was watching Star Wars. And so this was actually an idea from another friend. And then it was just, okay, let's make the Force in You seminars, because it goes a little bit like in this direction of moving people, and you see all this Yoda stuff and something. But the problem what I saw is when I gave people just like the methods and show how fast you can understand and learn this, then the ego kicks in again. They say, oh, I'm so powerful, oh, I can move people. And so I had to change again the seminars somehow, not just like explaining everything and teaching how easy it can be to feel the energy and to move it. Also first to kill the ego. Because as soon if you try to impress someone, you don't feel, you just want to do a method, it's not working like that. It's really the connection and the oneness. And so my seminar was later, first day, just killing the ego, going out from all this duality nonsense, so you can go into oneness and opening the heart, and then start playing with the energy on the second and third day. Because for me, it was mostly, okay, finally the weekend, people opening up, are happy, and then the seminar is over. So actually now, when you're finally in your heart state, when you're already in this blessed feeling of, oh, okay, now we can play, then the seminar was over. So mostly I need to do longer seminars. But it depends all the time on the group. If you have more women, if you have more men, if there are more women, I have to talk much more. With the men, it's more practical. And yeah, it always depends on the group. So for me, I'm just like being the channel here and support what people are like wanting to know or to experience. For me, I don't care. I have no fixed point of view what to teach. I say mostly 20% stays the same in the seminar, but all the rest is about you. Because you're coming to the seminar, you want to receive something. And I always have to remember that to the people, because people are so used to be like, how to say it in a nice way. I don't have a nice way right now. Like a sheep that's just to follow. And for me, it's like, I want that you give me questions. Then I can work with you. I'm not just like constantly talking. Of course, I can talk for hours because I'm used for this other from all the training. But it's much better when you have a nice interaction, because then the consciousness start to match and more rooms start to open. Because otherwise I have to think, oh, what should I do now? I don't like to think. I trained a long time to not think anymore. I'm just am in the present state. That's it.
Very interesting. There are a
it's like intro, but it's like a lot of information and a lot of direction we can go.
No, I love it. Love it. Yeah. We'll maybe get into some more details. First of all, I put the wrong link in the chat first. The correct link is in there now. Sorry about that.
No problem.
We'll go take a look at your channel here in just a second. But I like the similarities between my journey kind of started the same way. I don't do the same things you do, but I do use the force, quote unquote, for psychokinesis. And I got into it the same way. I started doing Qigong for healing purposes and later discovered that you can use this Qi for other purposes. And as you mentioned, relaxation is a huge part of it. In order to get this Qi to flow from you, you must be relaxed and sort of open. Whereas if you try to force it, or like you said, when the ego gets involved, you can't do it as well. So there's a lot of similarities. How did you acquire Qi? I mean, did you do Qigong or yoga, or is it a diet thing, or how do you do it?
It's kind of funny because it's a problem like with, how to say, when people have like this fixed mind, oh, this is Tai Chi, this is Qigong, this is Neigong, this is blah, blah, blah. For me, what I figured out, because I did over 200 sports, I think. I did traveled over 60 countries, so I have a lot of different perspectives. So for me, it's more like, how can I explain it to someone who don't have the same perspective as me or point of view? So I try to give always many different point of views that he can feel it by himself. This is what he means. Because the same problem is when you're a trainer in sport. I can tell you, oh, my camera is away. Oh, no, it's back. I can tell you, oh, just lift the hip. And you will never understand what I mean till you feel it. And that's why it's so important that we let go of this fixed point of view, how we teach, instead of really looking, oh, what words can this other person receive from right now that he can really feel and understand it on a deeper level. And from telekinesis, when I started, I think 10 years ago, I was, or more, a lot more, 12, 14 years ago, I tried with the Psy wheel and I tried with focus, and then it was not working. I tried to more concentration because I came from martial art, I came from Taekwondo, and so I know how to concentrate, and it was not working. But as soon if I started to release this intention of doing something and still was connected, it started moving. So that's interesting. I'm not doing anything. Oh, Wu Wei or what? Doing and not doing. And so this was for me something. For me, there are two different types of telekinesis, or there maybe even more. But first is like this body electricity. What you just have this biomagnetism where you can move fast to feel the electricity or whatever. There are many things, and then you connect and then you start moving. And the other one would be with the mind. So your thoughts would be charged up the field. So I become the field and expand. And so for me, I was trained much more to play with the field from the quantum healing. So I knew everything is already here right now. So what kind of energy do I need to connect to be healthier, to be happier, to be rich, or whatever? Because everything is already here at the same time. And with quantum healing, it's the same thing. You have to make a coherent field from the brain to the heart, and then you look for 2 points, and then you connect them, and then you feel like a recharge in the whole body system. And so how I figured out most of the, let's say, higher secrets from all these Qi masters was because I just connected to the field. I looked at a video from a Aiki master from Japan, and then I was like, how is he doing it? Of course, I knew first the basics, but then it was mostly like merging with this field, and then I felt, oh, this is emptiness. And then my trainings partner tried to do something, and then I said, oh, this is working now. And because I was constantly in this play mode, I could figure it out much faster. So the problem later was that when I had another friend who was also a teacher, many people become jealous because I was so young and developed very fast. And so, how can you do this, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, this is the channel from Thomas. Yes, so there's a difference for me to expand the Qi out, what you take like from the Neigong way with the lower dantian, you feel your lower dantian and then you just press it outward, or you just do it with the sword, or you just do it with the field. I think there are many different ways, but Qi in general, there are also like the problem, even the right translation because even for Chinese it's hard because they have many different meanings. For me, you should be healthy if you do any kind of energy practice, or like try, let's say, about telekinesis or things, because it's a lot of concentration, a lot of work. For me, I was teaching a telekinesis class many years ago, but mostly I was doing first a lot of clearing for the subconscious mind. Oh, this was just, I think, 2-3 weeks ago, we had a meeting. And so there were many new people. And so I just tried in a different way. I didn't send it in too much energy. I just was like mostly more like feeling and expanding a little bit.
And then it's sort of a chain reaction. The energy flows through each person individually.
Not if I don't connect till to the end. It's like
So you have to yeah, it looks like the guy on the end got the brute of that one. So say again, you're connecting with the person on the end, and then the other ones are sort of just a conduit. Is that what you're saying?
I tried different things. So one time I tried to go step by step, slowly, that everyone can feel it. One time I just went through all of them. One time I just put the most energy in the last of them. It's always different. It's more like when you start feeling it, then people can get it. This is the energy feeling. Oh, interesting. And so then with the practice, then they also can do it quite fast. But it's a different if you just can generate it now in a practice, or if you start to embodying it. I think to understand and feel it, it works quite fast, but then later really to embody it, it takes a lot of practice, because every person feels different, every attack is different, and that's why I do so many different exercises. Mostly what I'm teaching is to release the fight in the body.
Is there a name for what you're doing? It looks a lot like Tai Chi. Is there a name for what you're doing when you do this? Like, what's that called?
Different exercises from Tai Chi, from Aiki, from Qigong. But it's like what we talked before, like there are so many different ways to do the same thing, let's say.
Well, this is very impressive. Now, does it matter if the people involved have any energetic experience with Qigong? No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What's happening with this guy? Why is he convulsing? Did you see that?
Maybe he tried to resist even more, and so the energy was more stuck in it, and so it started moving stronger. It depends mostly how much tension the person puts in, because if the person is too empty, he won't allow so much to go through. That's why mostly how stronger people go against it, how more they feel the release in the body. That's, for me, it's not about the reaction. For me, it's more about, can you release now all the tension in your body? For me, I use this as a healing. So in Tai Chi, they just use it to show, oh, this is Peng, or this is Ang, so how you move people very fast. For me, it's nonsense. Why should I? It's not nonsense. I mean, it's nonsense from the ego perspective. For me, I try to use it to heal the tension. What is the over-tension? What creates illness? What creates problems in the body? And therefore, I release. And it was funny. I tried it the first time with a different method. And so she got a little electric shock.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it an electrical feeling, or is it a magnetic type feeling, or just a?
If you explain it also, that's why I put some English subtitles, and it's different because one thing when I did it was mostly I was feeling, before I did it this way, I was feeling mostly the energy. I was visualizing. I was fully feeling the electricity, and it was even like 1 year before I did it. And this time I tried to move with the energy from the lower dantian over the arm, inside, out.
powerful stuff. Yeah, that's kind of
That was quite painful.
for the participant or for yourself.
For her.
I see. Yeah, she seems a
It's
little reluctant to
I
try
think,
again.
like, for me, sometimes I train. Then when I'm in the playful mode, I say, "Hey, come over here. I want to try something out." It's like this. It's not like, oh, and then I don't do it again for the next month or whatever. And then the camera fell over.
Very cool, man. This is really good stuff. I'm just going to keep browsing. You keep chatting, whatever you want to talk about. Now, you say you do teaching. Where all do you teach?
It's easy if you go to the playlist. And I just made a new playlist for English where are some seminars and interviews. But if you go on the last one, Miss Energy Mastery, they have like a lot of different videos from all these short practices where just like 2-3 minute videos or explanation. And I think this is just a trailer you can go down. I think this was when Ken interviewed me with Sifo Armeniani, I think. So there was one when I was in Austria. It was kind of funny. Yeah. That was the first time when I tried it, actually. It was a long time ago.
This one we're watching now, that was your first time?
I think it was the first time I tried to expand it out to more people. That was in Germany. That's more the physical exercises. That was in the garden where I expanded outward the field. I got many hate for this video.
Yeah, I've seen other like chi masters and stuff do this sort of thing, but it just blows my mind. I've never really, tried to do anything like this. If a person wanted to get into this, what's steps 1, 2, 3,
I think for me, what I do is the intensive weekend seminars, what I was teaching one time in Santa Monica. Maybe I will teach again in California. Because for me, from all the teachers I have been, they are just, let's say, like just in their direction. And for me, consciousness was the most important thing. This is just having fun and understanding how the body and the mind works. For me, later, this was all not important anymore. For me, I went more like to rainbow body. I wanted to go into higher states, into spirituality. And this is just like for having fun a little bit. But I wouldn't, how to say, spend so much time like on telekinesis or other things, as you can do much greater things with the energy. For me, telekinesis and all this stuff is a good training for concentration, definitely. But what I saw in the community, especially from the US people, it's all about, oh, I want to be important, or I want to move things, or I want to prove someone that I can do this. And there's so much ego-centered problem in this. And it's like, okay, for me, when I was looking for teachers, was like, there was just explanation, you have to go forward. I think Max was interviewing me when I was in Santa Monica. He asked me, what's the force in you? And so for me, it was much more, okay, is this teacher really heart-based? Or does this person only show some abilities? So for me, if you levitate, but you're still not heart-centered, you're just an asshole who levitates. So for me, it's more like, because when you have a teacher, you start to copy him. So look at the students. How are the students? How is he talking to other people? How is he living? Because how more you stay with a different kind of teacher, you will become like him, because you want to have the same ability. The same in sport. You're always looking for a professional. And that's why I was always looking on the shadow side from the people. And you can see it, like, I saw it many times. There's a lot of crap out there. There are a lot of steam talking out there. And therefore, I was very critical with many teachers. And that, sometimes you have a teacher where you just get some information, but then you have to go on because they have nothing more to give you. And for me, ripeness is a very important thing. Like when you are 70 and you still have some sexual problems and you still want to fuck young girls, then sorry, you're not my teacher. You still have a lot of things to do. Yet just from the normal life, you have no ripeness. And I experienced many of these things. And that's the main problem when you go into religion or you go in a certain kind of cult, that people maybe have some abilities but have no ripeness or no deeper understanding. And I think everyone can learn telekinesis, everyone can learn any kind of abilities if you really see it, this is your heart wish. If you really follow your truth and if you really follow that way, you will find it and you will go to all this stuff. But in the end, what does it matter if you still struggle in life? What does it matter if you can levitate, but you still can't go somewhere else because your knees are fucked up or whatever? I think sometimes people are not fully looking at the whole picture and just looking at one thing to compensate what is the real problem. And the real problem is lack of love, because everything is a placeholder of love.
For sure. Yeah. Love is the strongest force. And I've said it for years that, the ability to do psychokinesis, be it aerokinesis, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, or what have you, it's just a side effect of self-mastery. Whenever you get your mind, body, and spirit in harmony, all these things just become somewhat natural.
Yes.
And that's the reason I promote telekinesis, not to really show people, oh, hey, look what I can do.
I just said general because you have also some younger people who are watching. And I saw it many times like, oh, I want to be like an avatar. I want to be like this. But said, hey, where's the real problem? Why do you want to be special? Why do you why you don't feel love from your parents, so you're still running away? And that's a main issue. So you try to compensate with sport or with whatever to feel that you have a value. I think I talked with Ken about it. It blew his mind when I talked with him about what's really meaning why you're looking for a teacher. And
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and keeping the ego out of it is a very important part of it. I was torn between whether or not to share this with people or not, but I think overall, the things you have to do or the things that you will do before you get to be able to do telekinesis is good for everyone. The cleaning up your diet, doing energy work, meditation, all these things are just making yourself a better person. And that's really why I shared it. And I don't go too crazy, I don't like sharing too many demonstrations, just enough to keep people interested. But the main thing I want people to do is just get that mind, body, spirit connection started, harvest it. And like you said, it can change the rest of your life. You can use it to manifest the things in your life. And that was a good call. If your teacher's life is a mess, not a very good teacher, that type of thing. So self-mastery is really what I'm trying to promote. But you can't show self-mastery really, in a video. So
because I'm a body type, sorry to interrupt. So I was first like mastering my body. So I I came from martial art, and then it was more like breakdancing, because this was for me still one of the hardest sports to have the musicality, to have the flexibility and the strength and power to do certain kind of movements. But even then was later, actually, I just want to dance. So why should I train every day 4 hours to do a certain movement to say, oh, now I'm a b-boy or what? And this was also a big changer later. But first you said about, it's actually quite easy when you're in the heart field, when you're in oneness, then you just start to invite the energy. You start to invite the right people. You start to invite love, money, whatever. And that's, for me, this was the saying, stop fighting, start inviting. Because especially in Europe, it's all about, you have to be like this, you should earn this. And when you're 20, 30, you have There's all this mind shit from the collective field. And therefore we're in this. So for me, when I came the first time to Ecuador, it totally changed my mind. This was 2006. So at that time I was still like professional in triathlon, decathlon. So this actually was one of my first training when I was in Thailand later on, when it finally worked.
your first telekinesis experience, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's one of my first. I think I tried 4 or 5 times. It didn't work so well. And then when I was in Thailand, I think in New Year, then I was in this empty state, flowing state, and then I was doing it.
Yeah, it's the whole trick of trying without trying thing.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that a lot. when I was tutoring people online, helping people do telekinesis,
Mhm.
I'd have them set up the psi wheel, and they would quote unquote try. And then when they would kind of get frustrated and give up, and we go back to talking, then the psi wheel would start spinning. And they're like, "Wait, what's going on?"
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
you're blocking yourself by trying so much or having too much desire. It's a very humbling and selfless act, telekinesis, really.
Desire is wanting, and the wanting creates tension. And with every tension, you have a counter tension. And this I experienced in sport, because when I said I stopped breakdancing now, on the next day, I got 5 phone calls to do shows. I said, what the heck? I just said I stopped breaking. I finally let go of everything, and then it comes. And that's the thing. First, you do the basic work, you have your intention, what you want, then you let go of the wanting, and things are coming to you. It's the same thing like when you have a girlfriend and you're in this love state, more girls are coming and wanting something from you. But if you're in a need, I want to have a girlfriend, you're always needy, you won't get anything. And this is all like, for me, if you understand it in one example, you can use it for everything, because wisdom is always easy. Then you can use it for everything.
What are you doing here with your phone? What's this?
I was walking in Japan, and then I was on my phone, I moved my hand, and then I said, oh, my hand was so electric, my navigation was moving too then.
Okay,
was-
so that was like on a GPS type thing or something.
Mhm.
I see. That was cool. What we got going here? What's this?
That was a pen, and there was water inside, and I put another little cup, like a cup, and a wooden piece to see that it's moving the direction.
I
And
see.
so one time I tried to move it with the vibration, and then to stop it.
I'm glad you told me there was water in it, because I thought you were spinning that whole bowl just sitting inside. Like, what the?
What?
Oh yeah, is that like a ping pong ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fun. That was one of my first targets after I got over the psi wheel. Nice.
It was actually at the seminar, Seeing Without Eyes. I was training for, and so she said, oh, let's do something. Okay, let's try. I said, okay, you go against me. Let's see who got more connection.
Now, would you say your pushing or pulling is stronger, or are they equal?
I have no answer for this. I'm sorry.
Like making the ball go away from you is
I
harder
know
than
what
making
to say,
it
but I'm just like,
Sorry, I was
I
talking
think
over you.
with the ball, it was pulling easier.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I found that almost with every target that I'm better at pulling. And
Mhm.
is there a connection between yin and yang energy? Is one pushing and one pulling?
There's an interesting thing about the yin and the yang and your left and right brain. Because if you are left-handed and you are retrained, you lose a lot of energy by doing things. And for me, I actually was born as a left-handed, but was trained to the right hand. And there's a difference that you can, I've just forgotten what is easier. If pulling or pushing is easier than even with right and left, it's different. Just because of if you're left-handed or right-handed. About
Yeah.
yin,
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know now. I forgot maybe.
Well, traditionally that they're saying, that the right is for giving or pushing, and the left.
Yeah. It's the same like from a tradition, of course, about what also Hitler did with hail. You're sending with the right energy and you receive with the left. But I'm not in fixed concepts anymore. So for me, I'm always asking, okay, what's the right thing for you right now?
Right.
Because otherwise I pretend that I know. How should I know? I have to work, I have to feel, and then we play, and then we find out what's the best way for you. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's a cookie cutter way to do any of this stuff. A lot of it is just on a personal basis. This is all fascinating, and feel free to join any topic. I'm just going to go back and check the chat and see if anybody has any questions or any. I used to mess with shadows, doors, cars, suspension of cigarettes, and amaze people with it. I could see it coming off of me, and sometimes others could too. Sometimes stuff just moves. Yeah. Can you see your energy? Can you see like auras?
Yeah. It was in the beginning. I did even, I think, one time an aura seminar many times back, and that was, I started seeing first the halo, and then I saw even like energetic animals. And so I asked the teacher, hey, can you see this? Yeah, it's here. So, okay. Because first I was unsure. And one time in a healing session, I I had a healing session, and then a spirit animal bit me. And I was like, what? And I asked the patient, excuse me, do you know that you have maybe a goat on your side? I said, yes, it's my spiritual animal power. I said, it just bit me. It was such a weird experience. What I had was, I think, over 15 years ago. But then for me, when I did so much healing, I start seeing so many things. I said, I don't want to see it because so much rape and so much ugly things. I said, okay, I don't need to see it. Just give me the information. I just connect to it, and that's it. And I don't need to know or see so much. So for me, I closed it down and just let the field do. I don't need to know.
Risky YT says, Trebor, I'm 19, but I used to watch you when I was 8. Oh, that tells me I've been at this way too long. I always used to try telekinesis, but it never worked. I think because I was too young to understand what I'm doing. I tried to do it now. Yeah. Do you think there is an age restriction to this sort of thing? What's the youngest person you know that's gotten into this sort of thing, or oldest?
In my seminar, I had very young children also doing the exercises, because at that time they mostly don't think so much, they just do. And that's the important thing. When we got older, mostly we have much more concept, and we are much more screwed in overthinking instead of just doing. So
I agree.
I think the earliest, I think that children already standing Wu Chi in stances, it doesn't matter, I think. But it was everything. It depends on the character. The same with martial art. It depends on the character. You can't generalize anything. Or you can, but it's not wise.
Right. Yeah. When I was teaching, I have a couple of children, and when I was teaching them, the way I did it was have them set the psi wheel. Well, first I just let them try it, and most people it doesn't work the very first time you try it. But I had them set the psi wheel on their nightstand. I said, as you're drifting off to sleep, just look at your wheel. Don't try to spin it. Don't try to do anything. Don't think anything. Just look at it as you're drifting off to sleep. And when the mind reaches that certain state, when your mind is kind of shutting down, and it's called a hypnagogic state, when it gets between sleep and awareness, that's like the prime mental mode for doing telekinesis, and the wheel would kick in and start spinning. And that's how I taught both of them, how to try without trying, type of thing. So Risky says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said sometimes it's even good when you're tired, because I remember for testing, because I was in Mexico and the woman was testing me. Oh, I give you a name. Tell me what is the problem. And I just connected. I said, oh, I don't know if I will be that accurate because I'm very drained at the moment. And told you, oh, look at this. They got the kidney problem. They got the knee problem, this. I said, oh, wow, that's interesting. You said all correct and even one more.
Nice. Yeah. And he was asking, he always overthinks it. And now he's wanting to know, what do I do to fix that? Well, I think the obvious answer is quit thinking so much. But what would you say to that? Someone who thinks they're trying to do telekinesis, but that they're overthinking it.
The
Say again,
fastest
I'm sorry.
way, start feeling.
Start feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, when you go out from the house, you just feel your hands. You walk and you feel your hands. Put your mind into your hands. You have constantly more energy in your hands. Because when you're in a feeling mode, you can't think.
What's going on here? What is that? Is that a mole?
I rescued a rat from some cats.
Oh, nice.
No, it's not a rat. It's a baby mouse, I think. It was a baby mouse, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there were like 3 cats playing with the baby mouse. And hey, eat it or kill it, but don't play with it. And so I just took it and gave her some healing.
Nice. I got some videos of me petting wasps and
Yeah.
yeah. And another thing, when you reach self-mastery and you get your heart pure and you're full of love, animals, insects, children, plants, all these things are in harmony with you and they're attracted to you and they want to cooperate and coexist. Is this the experience you found as well?
Yeah, it's normal. I had many crazy experiences with animals. One time I went with my dog into the forest, and this forest, when I was sitting there, many mosquitoes came. So I had more than 30 mosquitoes on my body. And I was like, no, I go into full acceptance. I go into love, and I won't get any itchy dots or anything. So I fully took them into me and said, hey, take now all my old blood, what I don't need anymore, and sting me on my acupuncture points so that I get more energy. And I was sitting there for 15 minutes, and then I just stood up, and I had no red point at all and no itchiness.
Nice.
And another time, I was walking with the dog, and I went to the river, to our lake. And I remembered, oh, actually, I grew up as a fisher and hunter from my grandparents. And then I had this deep, how to say, my brain is not working. I tried to, like, I felt this feeling of apologizing for all the animals that I killed. And I went into this deep state of gratefulness for this experience. And then I was walking to the river, and I felt deeply touched in my heart and very sorry for everything. And then I was sitting at the river, and then I saw a frog coming and jumped near to my side. Then a bird, then even a fish. And I was like, am I now friends from a sissy? Or what's going on? It was such a crazy experience for me when I had this. That was quite profound, yeah. And that's when you really are touched and really like fully open.
Yes, I've noticed that as well. And I've been in several situations where, like, for example, but a few weeks ago, we got into some angry bees, and 3 of the 4 people, I didn't get stung. I'm allergic to bee sting. I'm very glad I didn't get stung. 3 out of the 4 of us got stung, and they asked me why I didn't get stung. It's because I said I was just sitting there putting out love the whole time. It's like, I love bees. I love you. I love you. I love you. And they didn't sting me. And they're like, get away, get away, get away, getting stung, you know? I said, man, it's not like that. It's, be water. Like you said, be water.
All on vibration. You have this vibration, and you have, I have to defend because there is tension. The feared person who also got tension is inviting them, and therefore you have to fight. But when you are just in this flowing, easy state, and they can vibrate as much as they want because it's another vibration.
Very cool. Yeah, I love that the benefits, the side effects of doing this sort of thing. The act of doing it isn't really anything, but the benefits of the self-mastery and stuff make it all worthwhile. Oh, this is cool. Little calf here. Where was this?
That was in Laos. And there I had like this very crazy experiences when I was in this love state. And I saw all the aura, I saw everything, and then they come over, and it was quite an interesting connection.
That is neat. Now, were you in Laos teaching? You sound like you travel a lot. Are the reasons you travel for teaching, or?
First, I started traveling because I wanted to explore somehow. My brother lived in Ecuador, so I visited him. And so for me, it was like, Austria, this little country with 9 million people. And it's easy to travel in Europe, but I wanted to see more from Asia. And so I've traveled a lot in Asia. I was in Thailand, in India, Laos, Cambodia, Hong Kong, Vietnam. So I was always like, had this adventure mode, but it's just like me. And later then I started teaching like the ancient healing here in India. And there I was in a crocodile farm. And for me, it was so sad to see the animals. And so I asked, hey, I would like to help because there's a crocodile farm and they have over 1,300 crocodiles, but their owner died. And so there's just a woman there. And there was a 30-year-old crocodile. I said, hey, I can take it out. I have no fear. And I helped him to take it out. This one I petted. But there's another one, hey, I would even bring up some money to make a bigger cage because this is not big enough. But they are so in their own thing, they don't care. So for me, it was very painful to see how animals are treated. And so for me, it was always, okay, can I do something? And I even had like one woman from the US said, hey, here you have $400, maybe you can do it. We can do something with it. But Indonesia, they just like paint snails and sell them. But you have to understand what's the reason. People just see the problem, but don't know how to make a big solution, because the problem also started because rich people came, fucked the country up, from palm oil, from everything, and then all the people who lived first in the woods need to go to a civilization what is not civilized in the city and have nothing. And so they will try everything to survive. That's why you eat dogs. That's why you kill so many animals, because people get out from this easy life, just living in the woods and having everything, getting pressed into a society where they don't want to be and where they can't survive.
Out of all the places you've been, generally speaking, where would you say the population is most spiritually harmonized or awakened, enlightened, whatever word you want to use there?
Depends what you mean with spiritually awakened.
Less materialistic and more in tune with nature and harmony.
The thing is, you always have both sides, because you can go maybe to Japan and people are mostly friendly and nice, but at the same time, they are totally programmed cheaps. They seem to be polite, but they're polite programmed. They're not polite out from the heart most of the time.
I see.
In Thailand, สบายดีไหมคบงคาเพียวฝรั่งฮะ and when you don't look, then you get the knife in their back. So it's something, it's what you understand, what is culture programming and what is spiritual programming. From what I experienced, the most balance is in some parts in Europe. Why? Because even that we have a big intellect, when the big intellect starts to met the heart center, then we can create a lot of stuff. And what I see many people, especially in Asia, who maybe have a higher spirituality from Zen, from Buddhism, all this stuff, where it's just normal. So I think you would feel happy just by going to Japan or Bhutan or Yangon, other countries where it's normal to live a spiritual life and you feel nurtured immediately, because you know nobody will rob you. You can leave the camera there because they are strongly in Buddhism, and therefore you feel much more, oh, it's normal to talk about this. If you talk like we are talking normal in Europe or somewhere else, they look at what the crazy shit you're talking about. That's the thing. One thing is for me collective programming, because on the collective programming, Asia is even more closed-minded because they just have this program. But on spirituality, if you go into monasteries, they have a high level in some things, but at the same time, in consciousness, sometimes they are not so high. And with consciousness, I think I would better say awareness, because they are just fixed in one thing. And for me, I'm not this microcosmic person, I'm more a macrocosmic person. So for me, when I do 50% of one thing, I feel the essence already. And other people need to do 100% from just one thing, and then they know, and then they teach. And for me, it's more like, okay, this is like this is like this. So for me, I'm more playing with the field, and therefore I can access it much faster.
Interesting.
But of course, it's not everyone. Everyone is different. It's like for some people, you just need to do it one thing and will be perfect in one thing. And for some people, it works also different.
True. So I had a student that was from Austria, but his native language was Turkish. Is that common? Do people in Austria speak Turkish, or is he kind of an outcast?
Turkey invaded Austria many hundred years back.
Okay.
But it depends which area. Because in Vienna there are a lot of outsiders. It's the capital. There are a lot of Turkish people, but in the rest, not so much. But of course, now with the immigration nonsense, what they're doing to destroy Europe, of course, we have now everything from. But mostly it was first the Balkan, Bosnia, Slovenia, Croatia was mostly coming to South Austria to work and go back because it was more money in Austria, and then they stayed there in Austria, mostly living. And everyone else comes for studying mostly because
Yeah.
like Austria is very rich, not also from the culture, also because it's very beautiful. We have so many mountains. We have just in Carinthia, in my area, over 4,000 lakes.
Wow.
And this Carinthia is just like if you drive maybe 2 hours from one side to the other, or 3 hours maximum.
Are you cloud busting here? You erasing clouds? Is that what you're
I think it was the first time I was trying and doing a recording on it. And so I was trying doing an A and the slash and said, oh shit, this is working. I was surprised by myself when I did it.
Oh, nice. So you're trying to write more so than disperse.
Yeah, I dispersed it a little bit, and then I erased some part into first the A letter and then a slash. And then I
Nice.
erased it fully.
That is very cool. I'll have to try that. Now, I've found that the manipulating of clouds, I don't know for sure what clouds are, but I think they're kind of like Ormus. They're very receptive to intentions. So I've told several people this who are having trouble with telekinesis to go out and just erase a cloud. And they said, wow, I don't know how or why I can do that, but that's easier than moving a side wheel for me. What are your thoughts? Why is it so easy to manipulate clouds?
I would say because clouds are in a strong movement all the time, and therefore one thing is already moving and changing, you just can accelerate the movement.
Yes, that's one of my biggest tips. It's much easier to influence the emotion of something than to initiate the emotion of something.
Yeah. Same thing like if you want to roll the ball or whatever, it depends. Like if you have already first to push or you let it roll and redirect it.
Yeah.
I've seen this for a long time.
This is really cool, man. Cloud busting is what we call it here in the States. So is the sort of thing you do fairly common in Austria? I mean, like, are there enlightenment schools there? Is Qigong and things like that pretty common practice? Or are you kind of an oddball outcast?
Not really.
Say again, I'm sorry.
There are some Tai Chi schools, I think in Vienna or something. But for me, I have to say, I never went to any. I had one teacher one time. I was training a little bit, but for me, I was much more inspired by trying out everything by myself and played around with my partner about all the energy stuff. So this was for me much more important because first I was just with the physical things to extreme. Then I went with the spirituality to an extreme. And then it was more like the harder way for me was more, okay, what is now the middle way? Because if you do too much, you will feel it. If you do not enough, you also will feel it. But to know the exact way that you don't do too much and not too less, this is mostly the hardest thing for an extreme person.
Yeah. And that is a strong teaching of Buddhism, the middle path and the being like water. And I found the same thing. I have a tendency to overdo things, OCD or whatever they call it. And trying to find that perfect balance between spirituality and, being the physical part of life and everything. That is the key.
I think that's many times the problem that people try to escape into meditation and just again another compensation, then just meditate my life away. I said, no, it's not working. There's a reason why we all have a certain life karma, family karma. It's even like I'm talking to you now, and maybe like because I have numbers, you have different numbers, we are matching somewhere. But now we invite another person, and now the conversation would be totally different. So we are all having a kind of quality of energy and information. This was also like trying to do some aerokinesis. So I was moving from the other side. I think there's a better video from aerokinesis where I also explained it how to do it, and I invited the strong wind. I think when I was sitting there also. In the end, a little bit like 250 maybe. And it's mostly just like expanding, and then it's not magical, but it is magical.
Yeah, working out in
It's
nature.
magical.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, what happened here? And over there, I feel the movement and invite this movement, this energy goes through the garden, and then whoosh, and then it's just coming. And it was a strong wind.
Yeah. I love working outdoors. Like you
So
said,
for me, I was always in love with wind. So and then I started just a little bit playing around. But then for me, it was like, okay, but what are we doing with all of this stuff? Because now this is very nice, it's playful, but how can you really use this in your daily life? And that is what I was focusing on. Because one part is self-mastery, the next step is life mastery. You have to bring all your wisdom into life. You have to bring it into the communities. You have to bring it out in the society. Because otherwise I can stay in the cave. I don't need to be here. And living in a cave is much easier than living outside of this crazy society and stay sane. That's the main problem.
Very true.
And so it was for me later, okay, I know this kind of methods, but the same thing like when people are holding me, okay, I can get out, but what is the point of it? Yeah, that you go more into a problem. Okay, I say, okay, I have a relationship problem, and now 5 people are holding my hand. If I'm still fighting, I can't go out. So I have to release my emotional trap from this relationship, and then I just can go. And that's why I use all these techniques actually, or let's say techniques, to really let go of the fight in life, in the body, and therefore life will become easy and fun.
Yeah, very true.
So,
yeah.
I think that's the most important thing, because it doesn't matter what you can do after some 100 years, you're lying under the soil. So
Right.
It doesn't matter. Nobody will care about you in 100 years. You're a piece of shit. You're nothingness. You're a fart in the desert. It's so you're so useless. So enjoy the time you're here. And
Right.
there's people taking things for me sometimes too important. Because even after I did all this stuff, what people say, oh, you're a high energy master. I said, no, I'm just a human being trying to understand nature a little bit. I'm still trying to get better every day, but not out that I have a need for anything, because all my wishes, everything disappeared a long time ago. When I went into emptiness 5 years ago, at the different enlightenment states, there was no wanting, no need for anything. And then again, getting a part of the ego after a half year in emptiness, okay, let's start and teach again. Now I can go out, but first it was just blank. And I think this is, for me, it was not about, oh, look how powerful I am. For me, it was more like, when I can do it, everyone can do it. And this is just a normal ability, because I remembered from my past life, this was all normal. But our whole history got manipulated so strongly. And so because I remembered my past life, this was, oh, I want to teleport, I want to levitate, this is normal. And so I was angry that I'm here with this unawareness, what I am at the moment, that I don't remember how I did it. And then I started to research. Because otherwise, why should I train telekinesis? I have a hand, I take the glass and I drink. Therefore, I don't need to train it. Do it in an intelligent way, not like wasting so much energy. And that was for me much more important. So the training, telekinesis, aerokinesis, everything good. Okay, now let's find the way how we can use it in everyday life. Okay, we have a fight somewhere. How can I move the energy that we don't need to have a fight? How can I harmonize the fight right now? How can I invite love? How can I invite money or whatever is needed right now? So that is for me, because this just shows, okay, we can move energy. Everything is movement. Yeah, but when we're stuck in a situation, when you're in shock, when you're in trauma, you can't do anything. All the knowledge what you have, when you get attacked, you forget immediately. And therefore, we need to train to get attacked. That's why I use many times swear words, because people have still fixed point of views. Oh, you should talk nicely. No, if you still have resistance, it means you're not in balance. So it doesn't matter what I say. You can say you're a fucking cunt, you're an asshole. I have no judgment about the word you have. You have a fixed point of view what is right and wrong. I'm just in pure state of love all the time, but I need to say words because you are triggered and you are not in love and you're not in balance with everything what is. And that's sometimes very hard for people to accept. It depends on the people. Sometimes I had a seminar, I don't even need to use any swear word. And then a woman said, Alex, you became so nice. What's going on? I said, no, you all became more intelligent. I don't need to use swear words anymore because you're all balanced. I can't trigger you anymore. So finally we can work on a deeper level. But if you're not there, I still need to do all this polarity work and be mean, be an asshole, just that you see your own shadow. And I really had like,
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting concept. Yeah, I never really thought about it that way.
For me, I was like so tired of this kind of training to constantly on the first day to kill the ego, to let go of all fixed point of views. But I said, oh, it's so important because otherwise you're harming yourself again with the power what you got. Because I saw people later like, oh, look, I can do this and that. And then they're just harming with power. I think it was in Mexico. Unfortunately, my camera was too low. And so I was moving the top of the tree and you can't see it. And I said, just eat a little bit.
No, that's all good stuff.
Amazing park in Mexico. It was amazing there.
And aerokinesis can actually be practical. I've had a fire was getting away from me, and I've used aerokinesis to calm the winds or change the directions of the wind.
That's the reason why we have to do this. And I had the one thing, I was in Indonesia doing a treatment for a girl, and I said, well, it's very hot in this hut because there was nothing. I will invite the wind. So I invited the wind to go through this little house, and she was like, how have you done this? I said, it's wind. I invite him because it's fucking hot here and I don't want to sweat while I do a treatment for you. And
yeah, the wind was already moving. It just needed a little invitation.
To connect. And I had one crazy experience. I did my first dark retreat in New Zealand. And I was in a little house. And the woman came over on the fourth day and said, hey, Alex, I have to bring in the big house because one of the biggest hurricanes is coming right now. And we have to evacuate and close the houses and blah, blah, blah. And I was still with my blindfold. And so I got out and said, hey, she was also like a healer, and said, hey, let's try something. Because I don't want to do the dark retreat in here. I want to go back in this house. I want to connect to this hurricane. Okay, let's do it. And so we connected to the hurricane, and I felt anger. Weird, I didn't know that a hurricane can have an emotion. And I asked her what she feels. I feel the same thing. And so I said, hey, look, because why do we even have hurricanes? It brings change. And so everything what is too stiff will get moved to another way. And so, hey, dear hurricane, I know you need to make a change here, but on this island, I am doing the change. So you can move where you need to make a change. And so I connected and invited it to go away from the island, because actually it would go straight down. There's a little island before Auckland on the north of New Zealand, half an hour away. And so the whole hurricane moved to the right side to Coromandel, and we didn't even have a wind on the island. And it was a, wow, that was profound experience. Because first they wanted to evacuate the whole island, and then we didn't even have a wind on our side. And then it just moved totally to the right side. So they go there where they need a change. And Coromandel was flooded.
Fascinating. Well, yeah, there's an excellent use for it right there. Yeah, I've read, in places where they're like having wars and whatnot, where just a few hundred people all meditating on peace would bring the violence to a stop. And do you think maybe that's why so much of this has been suppressed? Because we as a whole could manipulate the world
to change the to the good.
Yeah.
The same, all these resonance chambers. Borobudur in Indonesia, when you see this Buddhist, this old temple, or why are all the bells were melted down? Because in Europe we have a lot of bells, and the sound, this frequency is healing. And so we have this duality, extreme agenda, and now you don't even need to suppress the darkness anymore. You see it every day on TV, all the Satanism, all Hollywood. You just can do it, and people say, "Oh, it's just show." I said, no, there's a reason behind the show. If you know how mentalists are working, it's all mind manipulation. And I think there was one time a mentalist who, maybe I will send you a documentary about mind manipulation. I think it was in English. It was amazing. I was like, I've never seen some documentaries so good. And there he explained, he showed a little video in a bar, blah, 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 and what he was doing. And then he asked the audience, please just paint a symbol, whatever comes up in your mind. And then after 1 minute, please put it above you. Boom. And everyone had the same symbol. How is this possible? Everyone had, I think it was a triangle or a cross, I don't remember. Yeah, because in this video, he put already symbolism inside. And of course, when you watch something, you're receptive, and then, I think on a cross. No, it's not you who is thinking on a cross. It's you got informed. And the funny thing was, when I started hypnosis, I think 2006, because I had a back prolapse, and so I did self-hypnosis to heal my back also. I was doing even party 10 days and slept only 3 hours a day because with the self-hypnosis, I didn't need to sleep that much. But I was constantly dancing 10 days in a row in Spain. So I knew when you can go into deep relaxation, you can do a lot. And for self-hypnosis, hypnosis, I was mostly doing it just for healing, stop smoking and getting away with allergic things or whatever. But I never tried to manipulate everyone because I'm against this nonsense. Because it's again of show off or what can I do? And I was always against this. But someone was asking me from Germany, because I was in a group, is anyone doing hypnosis online or whatever? I said, ordinarily don't do it online, but if you like, we can try. I never tried it. And so I said, okay, let's do a recording so you know what I was talking. And I will just, he said, can you manipulate it? I do something, but I wouldn't do. I said, I can't do things that would go on your ethical stuff, but I will try something. But ordinarily, I don't care about this. Let's do something. And so when I was in the end of the hypnosis, I told him, okay, when we finish now this hypnosis, you will stand up, you switch the light button on and off 2 times, then you go back to the computer and you say, what's going on? Hypnosis finished, he stands up, on, off, comes back, what's going on? I started laughing because it was my first experience. And I asked him, why did you switch on the light 2 times? Yeah, because I wanted to know if the pulp is working. I said, no, that's not the reason, because I told you should do it. Really? I said, yes, you can listen to the recording. But of course, your mind needs to have a certain explanation why you do something.
Sure. Yeah, we all try to rationalize our actions.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times it's our thoughts on our own. A lot of people, most of their beliefs came from a television, they think in their core that they believe something when actually, no, you've just been trained to think that way. Back to the chat real quick. Number 5 says, hi, Alexander. Could you comment on manifestation mechanics? What would be the requirements for a successful manifestation?
Well, the best thing is now to watch the interview, what I did with Ken and Sarah. It was over 1 hour where we just talked about all this stuff.
Okay, so did you catch that?
Just to have sentence, you have to be it. You have to let go fully of the wanting. You are it already. The same as with healing. Like when I do a seminar, I see everyone already as enlightened. I see everyone already as healed. And then it's more about how can I trigger the subconscious mind of a person that is ready to receive from me. And then people stand up from a wheelchair or heal whatever. It's more about, are you ready to receive? And this is the biggest problem. People have so much wanting, but are not ready to receive. And that's with healing, it's with money, it's with love. It's ask yourself, how much in percentage are you ready to receive the manifestation, what you want? What number comes up? Immediately, without thinking.
Yeah, and for me, a lot of the manifestation part comes from, same way with telekinesis. You gotta suppress that desire and that want and or that need, and
It's
move
like,
more into a receptive, gratifying state of mind and emotion. I always say gratitude attracts, and wishing
yes.
repels. So be thankful. Use your imagination.
Every wish is lack and wanting.
Yes. Yeah. Prayers of petition are a huge waste of time and usually do the opposite of what you want. So my advice for people trying to manifest things: imagine you already have what it is you're wanting to manifest, and be extremely grateful for having it, and then just hold that gratitude until it manifests.
But the
Don't
problem
wait
is,
for it. Don't expect it. Just be open, receptive, and grateful. Go ahead. Sorry.
with visualization, many people have problems with it. And it's more a female quality, I have to say, to have pictures. And I think by visualizing, it's better if you're already in a trance state. When you go into a trance state and then having the picture and the feeling, then it works much easier. Otherwise, you're just like making mind shit. But if you don't have energy, it's not working. You need to have an energy. And I think that's many times the problem that people say, oh, but I feel it. Oh, it feels nice. Yeah, but it's still not enough. It's more like it must be a heart wish. I was writing actually a note, I think, about manifestation on my old homepage, where I explained why it's working and why it's not working. Because the same thing what I explained in the beginning with the breakdance. I said I will stop breakdancing, and first I was constantly looking to make more shows, to create a bigger community, and then I let go of everything, and then everything comes by itself.
Yep. That's the way it goes.
It's the thing like doing and not doing, but first you just do what is necessary, and then you allow things to come. But I don't like to generalize, because I don't know what is your topic, what you want to manifest, whatever. Therefore, then you just can say main principles. But for looking deeper, you have to go into the subconscious mind of your really belief. If it's too nice to be true, what happens many times? Oh, I want to have a girlfriend, but it would be too nice to be true. Oh, I want to have 1 million. It's too nice to be true. Because in my subconscious, it's all from the childhood. You are not allowed to have this. Every rich person is an asshole, blah, 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 blah. It's such a big topic.
Yeah. It's kind of hard, like you said, to just generalize, because it makes a difference on what it is you're trying to manifest, and what are your motives, what are your intentions, what are the consequences, all that sort of thing.
The thing is, people don't think about any consequence. People just say, oh, now I have 1 million. Yeah, but what is the consequence? You don't know about how to invest money. You lose it even after 1 month, and then you're more in debt than before. So there's so many things you have to ripe into a certain state. And people just being, oh, but when I'm there, then I'm, what are you? You have now 1 million, but you're still the same asshole. Money just doubles the character. So if you're an asshole before, you're double asshole, and then you lose even everything. So it's like, what do you want to compensate? What is the thing that you really want? That's the first thing. If it's a heart wish, it will go like this. If it's a wanting from the mind, you will work your ass off and you will be unhappy. I'm sorry to say this, but it's just my experience.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the people I know who have lots of money are the most miserable people I know. My idea of wealth is health and friendship. Sarah says, I think most people have a salt deficiency, especially when we constantly diluting it with 8 glasses of water a day. Increasing our salt has been a feeling like waking up from a hypnotic state. Yeah, it depends on the salt. You want to stay away from your table salt, your sodium chloride. That's not good for you. But if you're doing a good Himalayan or a sea salt, I found that is like
It
pure energy.
depends also on the body type. For me, I always like was using a lot of salt, like even before. But you have to get the right salt because there's so much crap out there. And of course, because of the body electricity, electrolytes, body is working. Your whole body is a crystal. Silicium is very important. There are many things, but again, generalization, we have different plot types. Therefore, you need to eat different. You have different life process. So you have to take care what is the right thing at the right moment. And people just want to have, eat avocado. So, for whom? So
Yeah.
it's like, eat chlorella. Yeah, but it depends if your body can digest it. Otherwise, you will just be bloated like everyone else. Or there are so many things. People just want to promote one thing to make money, and having just this fixed point of view and not a high awareness of what is really needed. I think that's the main problem in many things when people already say, this is the right thing. So, okay, for you. Maybe it is.
Yeah, there's not a set menu for the human race because we have so many different body types. Whereas some people will thrive on a vegan diet, and some people, will do better on a keto type diet. Or what is your rule of thumb? Do you eat mostly live raw stuff, or are you eat whatever you want type of guy?
I've tested different things. It depends also like on my lifestyle. Where am I? Am I constantly traveling? Can I even eat just vegetarian? Because when you're constantly traveling, it's very hard to get good quality food. And the last years, it was for me more like, where do I want to ground? Where do I want to... this is a long seminar. You better jump forward. Because it's just mostly the first day of a seminar where I just do clearings and changing things in the subconscious mind.
Gotcha. So I got about another 10 minutes or here. So is there anything you were hoping to get discussed on this show, or do you just want to keep free flowing here?
I just want to finish about the diet, and then I can say something. So for me, I was, I think, vegetarian over 15 years. I don't know exactly. Then I did also Bigu. I stopped eating and drinking for over 1 month. And so for me, I was always testing what is the right thing to do. Then even like when I go into my dark retreat or Vipassana, I don't even need to eat because I'm full energetic. It's very important to see like what is the progress in your life. What is very helpful is to work with a biofeedback machine. You can test immediately what are good for immune system, what for your body, etc., etc.
Say that again. What machine? What'd you say?
Biofeedback, like steel,
biofeedback,
time wafer. There are many things with frequencies where you can do a lot of things. It was a quantum healing seminar. That's what I told you before. When you connect your brain with the heart field and looking for 2 points and then make a change in the whole field, and then you can heal things in minutes and seconds. It depends on the person if they're ready to let go of everything. And then you feel like, as long as this wave is moving, and then he's falling backwards.
And what was he trying to heal? Or do you recall?
What was being
healed? No, okay. Yeah. So what is the most amazing healing experience?
You can use this technique actually for everything. Because if you feel like, I'm stuck in a car traffic. Okay, I do 2 points and are allowed to change this reality. So you can do many things with this kind. It's a playful thing that you are not trapped in the certain circumstance right now. And this woman had a crazy experience because she had many problems with the eye. She was very ill with many things. And after the weekend seminar, eyes are shining. She saw better. I don't remember what was it, but it was a big change for her. And she started screaming. So it's always different when you send this energy wave for transformation. Everything can happen. And it's always different. Sometimes you just feel relaxed. Sometimes your whole world changes. It's always different, but it's nice.
Are there any dangers or side effects, ill-wanted side effects from doing this sort of
The
practice?
side effect is change. Many people don't want to change.
True. I meant from
That's
the practitioner's point of view. Like for you, is there any danger in doing this or anything? Is it harmful?
I think what I was missing in the beginning was mostly disconnection, because I was so connected with everything. I still could feel and was purging out all the problems from the other people after the weekend seminar. So they felt like reborn, but I needed some days to regather my own energy, to just be silent, just be with myself, to clean up myself, because I create a field of healing, and therefore I connect to everyone and they can allow that everything go faster. And
Interesting.
when you don't disconnect, then you still can feel them. That's why I even knew from some 100 people, I knew what they just were going through, and was writing them, hey, what's going on? What is there? I said, why do you know? I said, because I feel. So when you're in this oneness with everyone, that is in the beginning was for me the problem to disconnect, because I didn't have the border. It was also my topic. And so for me later, I stopped too much doing in the outside, because I felt, okay, I know how to feel the outside, but it's much more important to manipulate my inside. The temperature, the organs or whatever.
Heart rate.
That's the thing, like, okay, I was so attached by playing outside, but then I said, okay, with the Qigong, go more inside. Okay, how can I feel more Dantien? If I use too much energy, how will I feel? What is my topic in this? Because if I'm in a constant field of change, of course, something in me also changes and brings things up. And I think some people who did kind of healing are judging, oh, I have now all the bad energy from the people. I said, no. The bad energy just triggers you because you still have a fixed point of view about bad energy. You still want to have something away, and therefore you invite it. You're still not clean with the duality. But if you're fully clean with, let's say, anger or whatever kind of emotion, then anger can come to you and you just smile. But not as a practice, oh, I have to let go of anger. More like, oh, I am the anger. I'm not afraid of the anger or any other thing, and therefore it won't trigger you that much anymore. And how more you master a different kind of emotion, how less you will have certain experiences. It's the same as with reality. A poor person will never find money on the street. But if you're like in a happy state, and they said, oh, I want to find something, or universe, what do you want to show me? And then I found 50 euro at the ATM or whatever. It's more like, are you ready to invite a total different experience, what you believe, what is reality? And there we did just a chanting for one woman, because she was so stuck in her mind. So, hey, just stand there, we do something for you. And then she started crying, and boom, you see it in the eyes is glowing, everything starts to open up. So there are so many possibilities when more people come together. And so first, what I said, like self-mastery, life mastery, and then it's about the whole community. And it was for me something, oh, where do I want to build a retreat center? How can we do like more mass meditation to make a change in this crazy world? So I did like a quantum timeline meditation with some people. Just like, let's bring people together, let's make a change. Because like you said before, like there are so many monks who did science on this, who went to the US and the Bronx and did meditation there, and then the crime rate went down 40%. Vipassana meditation in India, all the criminals 80% less. So we have all the facts. It's more about, okay, are we ready to connect and do something? And so for me, I'm happy to do a field now for everyone who is listening to this, and we do something together. Because I talked already too much, and I should maybe also sleep. Because I know when I'm in this mode of explaining them again, I'm fully energized. I have to build my energy down and I can sleep. Otherwise, I'm like 2 hours fully awake, full of energy. Because I'm talking out from my love and my experience, and therefore I can talk for hours and have more energy. I don't lose it. I lose it more of talking into water and kidney, but it's you get it back because you are in this hard field.
Well said. Yeah. Oh, you've shared a wealth of information, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you. And we are going to wrap it up because I have someplace I have to be, but we're going to check the chat real quick. So let your mind at ease. We're done picking your brain here, buddy. We're going to check the chat, and we're going to say our goodbyes and call it a show. Sarah says, we've been using sea salt. Have you heard of the Persian blue salt? It's got a balance of potassium and sodium. Looking forward to trying it. Do you have any opinions on the 12 cell salts? Do you have any comments on that?
Like with everything, you can test yourself, do a kinesiology test. Do you really need it? What is it really? With everything what you take in the supermarket, feel it. Is it really good for you? Train your own mind. Don't go too much over what you think about this. Or this professor said this. You need to know for yourself, and therefore train your awareness, train your mind, do like testing. You immediately, yes, no, you immediately know, ask someone else to do the test for you, then you're okay, let's see what is it doing. For everything, try it for some months and do your own research. That's for me the most important thing. Don't believe anything what I say. Try it out, see if it's working. If it's not working for you, go to someone else.
Yes, I would agree with both of those things. Yeah, trial and error is the best. The book called God-Man, The Word Made Flesh, mentions 12 cell salts tied to the zodiac. I think
Thanks for the information, Sarah. I will look it up.
I agree with the cell salts. I think there is something to that. Let's see what she got else here. Also curious if you feel like coffee is something to give up. Shouldn't feel a need for it anymore for energy, but like stimulation. Coffee. Should she give up coffee?
Poison. Coffee is poison. That's the reason why it affects the intestine, that it gets moving, but it's a poison.
Is caffeine in general bad for you, or are you just saying coffee?
I think it depends how you use it. With everything. About the doses, if you use it for a special training. But at the same time, why do you even need something like coffee? Why is there a need for something?
Yeah.
When you can live on light, why do you even believe that you need a need of anything? Than just pure love. It always depends. Like, I don't want to give like a right or wrong answer, because it always depends where are you in your life journey. What is your state? What is your life progress? Are you even capable to understand what I mean with it? Or are you capable to go that way? If it's not your way, do something else what makes more fun.
Well said. Paul K says mass meditation. That was a good reminder. Yeah, it is. And we really need to unite and try to use this to our advantage. We could do away with a lot of this evil if we could just unite and use our power of prayers and meditation. Sarah says, thanks so much for the show. Came at the perfect time for me. The clips were amazing.
I just made English playlist. I think I have 180 videos on the normal playlist, and then I just have another one where I'm mostly more English talking, where I did interview with Max Reader about healing certain things, about even manifesting money. And I think if people are ready and want to go deeper into this stuff, I can do a seminar. Right now I'm working more on my academy, but it's mostly in German. I do 2 healing sessions a month, and then we have one topic. And one time it was an English woman, so I was translating the same time also in English, but we did like gold manifestation, gold glitter on the hands, just to have fun to see it. And it was quite interesting. It was also the first time for me, so let's try it out. And then I said, oh, there's a particle, 2 particles, like 1 millimeter on my hand. And It was totally glittering. And yeah, so this is for the playful stuff, because in this playfulness, more things can come up. Because I didn't like to do so much healing, because then you're constantly with patients. I said, no, I want to create something bigger. And that's why also I had to raise the prices, not because I'm interested in money. I didn't care about money, never. But I said, if I don't raise the prices, you always have the people who are constantly in lag, and people who in lag won't change anything on the bigger scale. And I want to be with people who are more professional and want to create something with bigger scale. And then I met much more millionaires. And then I got invited from millionaires. I said, okay, let's create now all big retreat centers from Ibiza, from everywhere. People are coming together to make a bigger change. And then when people are finally ready, then we can let go of all of this nonsense of money or whatever. But it still takes a lot of time and a big shift in the field. And I think many people are waiting already for so many years that this will happen, but it starts all with ourselves. Can you be loving every day? I think that's the main practice. Can you stay in love? Can you smile all the time inside? Doesn't matter what's happening. And therefore you will reach much faster all kind of stuff in life.
I would add
And
being in the now is also very important. So many people live in the past or live in the future. There's so much power in living in the now. That's also. So number 5 says, do you recommend any books you came across that you consider a must read?
I wrote some texts, short texts on my homepage about how to become money. What is love? So all these short things, what gives you already a lot of information. Books, Access Consciousness has many good books. They just ask questions and open the field. This I can recommend. And it's generalization. What is a good book? It depends. What is your interest again? Because if you go into Buddhism, then go into Rainbow Body, then you go there. There are so many things. It's like you're talking about a million of options about one thing what I should give you when I don't even know you. It's very, very hard to do.
Yeah. It's kind of a general question. Oh, somebody else just popped in. Rat Food says, just join. What is the channel?
Thomas Mura. If you look at Thomas Mura and The Force in You, you will find the channel. Or if you go to theforceinyou.com or alexanderkrakolinig.com, you will find it quite easy.
And there's a link. If you scroll up in the chat section here, there's a link to the channel he just mentioned too. All right. Well, man, thank you so much, Alex.
If you still have 5 minutes.
Okay.
I don't care about speaking so much.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I want that everyone is standing up and look that a chair or a bed is behind you. I want to try something out.
Okay. Did you hear that, people watching? Stand up and look at the chair or the bed behind you.
Yeah. Now look at this and allow yourself to fall backwards into the chair and the bed first. Do it one time. Also you, Trebor.
I can't really. I've got a wall behind me, and that's all there is.
You can't fall into the chair when you stand up?
Not really. I don't really have room to, because my mic's got me. I'm crammed into this little bitty spot. I can't really do it, man. What are we getting experience?
Okay, no problem. I want to send the energy wave to everyone who is listening right now.
Aha. I can receive that on sitting, I do believe.
Mm-hmm. you feel it also maybe when you sit. It's just like mostly like when you stand, you feel maybe a little movement, and when you allow it, you will feel like how the energy is going through your body.
I see.
And this can open up.
If I close this, I can stand right beside. I don't know if I'll be in frame, but I can stand over here. Okay.
Yeah, you just stay on the side, move the chair a little bit, and just allow things to happen. Just look at the chairs in the right position behind you. And everyone just close their eyes. Because we got so many questions about manifestation and receiving. Just repeat or relax the arms to the side, relax your shoulders, relax your eyes, breathe into your belly. Just observe your breath. And repeat out loud, I'm fully ready.
I'm fully ready
to receive
to receive
love and healing on all kind of levels, times, and dimensions.
all kinds of levels, times, and dimensions.
I'm fully ready to change all my bad habits.
Fully ready to change all my bad habits.
And that all my positive wishes become true very fast for my highest best.
That all my positive wishes comes true for my highest best.
Now. Say it into your heart. I'm fully ready to receive it now.
Fully ready to receive it now.
It doesn't matter what it happened. Yes, allow. Let go of the control. Let your eyes closed and feel. Close your eyes. Just observe. And let go all the tension, all the thoughts, everything what is blocking in your body. If someone is feeling a little bit movement or controlling in the knees, not falling backwards, just let go of the tension in the hip and the knees. I'm fully ready to see clearly. If you have something with the eyes, I'm fully ready to hear clearly. I allow things to change fast for me. And everything what is still in my subconscious, manipulating me and in some way self-sabotaging, I'm fully ready to change. I allow myself to go into my highest power now. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it change, just observe. You let the body do what the body wants to do. Maybe your eyes are twitching, maybe body's muscles are a little bit moving. Just observe. And now just scan your body from the top to the foot and just allow golden white light shower like a waterfall through your body. Bring out everything what you don't need anymore. And say into your heart, I allow myself to be, I'm happy to be me. I love me, I love my body, I love my life. Thank you. Thank you, body, thank you, life. If you feel any resistance on these words, then you know where you can look deeper and heal it. And smile into your head, into your throat, into your chest, into your belly, the hips, legs, and make yourself bigger, expand over your room, over your house, apartment, over the city. Feel one with the planet. And when you are in this oneness, just send everyone love. Just go into gratefulness, the thanks that everything is here, how it is. And I'm sorry. Please forgive me for everything what I've done and everything what we experience. I'm knowing for the best to come. I'm wishing everyone the best. wish that everyone receives the love and light, the experience what they need, and hope for fast progress. And this you can train every day with every person you see on the street. Send them the blessing. In your family, with your friends. Just think, oh, how would it be better? How can it be nicer than this? Everything comes with ease, joy, love, glory. This is my new universe. And I will project it every day. This is my training. See everything with the eyes of love. Till it changes. Now I can put the hands on your heart, on your chest. Go into gratefulness for yourself that you are here right now. And thanks for all the information what we got, the communication, the chat. Because we are nothing without everyone out there who is not interested in the information we share. So we are very grateful that we can share our experience, that people have it even easier. Because teachers are just people who made already more mistakes. And therefore they can talk out from the experience. Yeah, and when you don't feel any strong movement anymore in your body and you feel ready, to feel centered, you can slowly open your eyes. Take as much time as you need. And maybe someone wants to share an experience. I know it was very quick, but it's already quite late.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh,
We're
am I
talking
unmuted?
too much.
No, you did good. Let's see if anybody says anything in the chat real quick.
What did you?
She recommended that Telecult Power as a must read. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I noticed it's a red book, an old one.
Okay. Okay, I'm in. Paul says absolutely. Rat Food says very relaxed. Sarah says, thank you, Alexander. That was a really great. You have an incredible talent.
Thanks, we all have.
Awesome. Yeah, that was fantastic, and I appreciate it. And perhaps we'll have you back for another live stream. I'm sure we can talk for hours and hours about this sort of thing, huh? What do you think of that? Would you be interested in doing another stream?
And it would be nice to really get all of your followers, like thousands of people. Let's make some mass meditation. I think that's really and therefore more things will open by itself just normally. I think this is really something what we could look forward.
Yeah, I think that's the end game. Yeah, we all become healed and spiritually enlightened, and we can unite and make some really big changes in the world. That's fantastic. Oh, we got one more comment. Number 5 says, felt resistance in the heart.
Very good.
Cool. All right. Well, any final words? And is there a website, or is there some way anyone can help support what you do, or where would you send someone if they wanted to learn more about you?
Like I said, the best thing is to write an email on the Akademie der Selbstmeisterschaft at gmail.com or directly from the homepage, theforceinyu.com. But right now, it depends always, like if people are interested, because I'm just a servant. So for me, I'm a projector in human design. I need to be invited and I just give. So I don't plan things. I'm not this kind of person. For me, it's more like, okay, people want something. Okay, let's do something. That's the same thing. People want a weekend seminar and then they organize it and then I fly there and then I teach. Or people say, oh, let's do another telekinesis seminar. And said, okay, that's the same thing in the whole community. I have like 20 topics for the whole year. And then I ask every month, oh, what is the right thing to do for this month? And this month we have woman and man healing. but this is in German. And then we just do like 5 hours deep clearings. What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? All these projections. And then you feel a lot of difference, like people looking totally like newborn. And yeah, with English, it depends. Like when there are enough English speakers. The last time I wanted to do an English healing meditation for a full moon. And then I have like 30 German peoples. Then I said, okay, then I won't do it in English. And there are 30 German peoples here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it depends. Like if people are ready, I'm happy to serve. And thanks again for the invitation. I will pack my suitcase and have to be in the airport in 8 hours, I think.
Nice. Well, hopefully you can catch a little nap or something in
Yeah.
between there too. But we wish you safe travels, and thanks again for your time, Alex.
Thanks
Really
so much. It
appreciate
was nice to talk to you. See you
Thank
all
you.
soon.
See you.
Bye.
Namaste. There you have it, folks. Another fascinating live stream from the Trebor7 channel. I appreciate everyone who joined us and those of you who participated in the chat. You made this show that much even better. I'll be back next. Let's see what it is next week, October. I am not 100% sure on next week's show because I may be in South Missouri on a float trip. I think we go on the 4th or the 5th. I'm not sure what day we get back. But if I can't make it on the 7th, I'll do it on the 8th or something. So I will be back next month for another live stream. So if you guys can join us, I would really appreciate that. And in the meantime, take good care of your body, follow your spirit, and open your mind. There's magic inside. Peace out.